is up, my friends? Welcome to My Chemical Fancast. I'm Haley.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast dedicated to all things My Chemical Romance. I am still having cat troubles. You will hear Beans in the background. I have to contain him to my room because if I let him out, the cats will fight and one of them will die. So I have to keep him contained in my room. He runs around a lot and he yells.
I think having cats at all is cat troubles.
Yeah.
Like, there's never well-behaved cats when you're doing something important.
No, never.
They're always trouble.
Literally always. This is a notable episode.
Yes.
For two reasons. One, because these songs slap. But two, because it's the last official songs episode. It's the last episode that we're doing of an official album.
Guys, we're out of official MCR Warner released content. Well, okay, we're out of finished content.
Yeah.
Like, we're out of studio albums of any kind.
Yeah, this is it. This is the last one.
This is the end of the fucking road, man.
Yeah, I mean, we still have things to do, but
listen, we've got some final business to cover, and we're going to do that.
We have plenty of stuff to talk about still.
Okay, not plenty. We have some stuff to talk about.
There's plenty. Probably enough to get us, I'd say, at least through the end of the year.
Yeah, but then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think January is going to happen. I haven't looked at the schedule, but I don't think January is going to happen.
Yeah, it depends on if we take a Christmas break or not.
My dudes. End of the line. You know what's amazing about this episode being, like, the last, technically, like, official-ish episode? I mean, we'll talk about it when we get there, but, like, wow, we're really ending on a very final note. Like,
yeah,
the last song we have to talk about, the last, like, kind of official song we have to talk about is... It's a great parting song.
Yeah.
Should we get into the discussion?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is the 5th and final release for Conventional Weapons. The weapon on the cover art is a grenade, which is very classic My Chem.
Very Green Day.
Very Green Day, yes, very mid-2000s. And the first song on this release is Surrender the Night.
Tonight, just another accidental on a freeway of this life.
Gerard's tweet about it is as follows. Surrender the Night has a Helena vibe. Lyrics remind me of something Jeff Rickley would write, in parentheses, self-compliment. I go hard for this song, to be honest.
I like this song. I feel like it's very, like, for some reason, very retro. Like, it kind of gives me, like, some 80s power ballad vibes.
Yeah, I could feel that.
It's a cool song.
That's funny that you mentioned 80s power ballad vibes when Gerard says it has Helena vibes, when Helena had just had the 80s power ballad cover come out.
Exactly.
I don't super get Helena vibes from it. I mean, like, he's talking about a car crash. Like, is that the connection that he's making? Because
the car crash, and, like, maybe there's something in the structure of it. Now that, you know what, I just fucking listened to it, and now I feel like I've never listened to it once in my whole life. I'm like, what does this song even sound like? I remember listening to it after reading that tweet and being like, all right, I can kind of get this, and I totally forgot what I was even thinking about. But I think maybe something in the structure and something maybe in the way he approaches vocals in this. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I also feel that way about Conventional Weapons songs. Whenever I listen to them, it's like I'm listening to them for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is, because I love Conventional Weapons, but as soon as I listen to these songs, they just fly right out of my head, and I don't remember what they sound like anymore.
Shit.
After, like, if you asked me to sing Make Room, I could scream Make Room, and that's all I know. I don't know any other words.
Here's the thing, like, the upbeat songs in this release, I don't know if this is true or not, if it's just like us being shitty people, but I feel like they have very similar vibes. Like all of the more aggro songs are kind of aggro in similar ways.
Yeah.
Like you could sort of like take parts of those songs and switch them up and they would still kind of be very similar songs.
Yeah, I can hear that.
I think they just sort of, I think those songs especially sort of blend. And then you can always remember like The World Is Ugly.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember that one mostly just because of the live version.
Yeah, the live version.
And Light Behind Your Eyes I remember because it's so heartbreaking, but everything else I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't remember. And it's not that I don't like them. I love these songs, but I just don't remember anything about them.
I definitely get that. Hey, this wasn't an actual album, and there's a reason.
Yeah. I feel like the song is a lot about control issues. We know Gerard doesn't like feeling out of control or like he's not in charge of his artistic journey or career or whatever. I think the controlling force in this song is probably Warner Brothers, let's be real. I mean, it could be the fans or the media. Like, he was maybe salty about everyone telling him which direction the band should go in after the Black Parade. They always say in interviews, like, oh, there wasn't that much pressure. It wasn't, most of the pressure being put on us was our own pressure, like us putting pressure on ourselves. And I'm like, that's not true. It's just not, because you're working with Warner Brothers. And I know that label apparently really believed in them and really supported them and stuff, but like you're getting pressure from someone. You just have to. That's how bands work. You get pressure from studio people. So, yeah, but I think it's mostly just about a lot of control issues, and it's kind of aggressive.
I've always sort of like been perplexed about how to read this song, because I feel like it's one of the more half-baked songs, which is not in like its structure or how it sounds, like, because I enjoy listening to it, but lyrically, like, we talk about how a lot of their first drafts, their first demos sort of default to being about relationships and being about, like, we assume like a guy and a girl in like a weird relationship. Like, a lot of their songs start out that way when we listen to the demos, and that's sort of what I see in this song. So I feel like this is the first draft of this song. Like maybe the song is intended to become about something else. Because we don't have a lot of songs that like reach this stage of being finished and look like this and are about a vague relationship.
Yeah. So, yeah, the whole metaphor basically running through the song is about being in a car and driving, and then surrendering, and but the night belonging to him, and that's why it
belongs to me.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's about control, is because, he says you can fight this all you want, but tonight belongs to me. And the line, if you amputate the loneliness.
Yes.
That is just, it goes hard.
That's a Jeff Rickley line. Like, when he says some lines are like Jeff Rickley, like Jeff Rickley would
Jeff
write
Rickley.
that line.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anesthesia dims the lights, especially, like,
yes,
I feel like
good.
that's already a Jeff lyric somehow. Like, that's his.
Yeah, you could insert that into any Thursday song, and I'd be like, yeah, this is how the song goes. It's supposed to be there.
There's also a line about "I'll watch you in your sleep." Don't know what
that's
about.
I was about
to stay away from that one.
I was about to mention that. I don't like it. Gives me angel vibes.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of angel vibes.
Ooh.
So okay. So a lot of this song kind of sounds like, vaguely a song about romance, a song about a tragic relationship. But what if the speaker is death? What if this is the Grim Reaper song?
Okay.
Like, because the Grim Reaper owns the night.
Yeah.
And, like, this is definitely, like, the night for whoever's in this fucking car crash. Like, they're fucked. They're over,
Yeah.
And death could watch you in your sleep. Just making sure.
Sure, yeah. Just making sure.
Just, waiting.
Oh, wow.
Or what if
Yeah.
it's like an I am become death thing, you know? Like,
Right.
it's about death, but also like the speaker feeling like he's death. I don't know.
I see. Okay.
I'm reaching a little bit, but it's not that far-fetched.
Yeah. There's a little bit of stretch, but you're not pulling a muscle. It's like, you know.
That's right.
Can we... Okay. I need to talk about the bridge. I cannot talk about the bridge instrumentally yet.
Okay.
Because I can't touch anything instrumentally yet because I have a couple things to say separately about it. But the bridge is really good visually. Like he's just describing a car crash.
Yes, okay.
But it's so visual.
It is, and you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Understanding in a Car Crash by Thursday, which is also very visual when it describes the car crash.
Yeah.
It describes the glass.
Yeah.
That's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, sparks against the railing, distant phantoms wailing, which sirens, duh. Through the windshield sailing, there she goes.
Like, this is just different Understanding in a Car Crash. Hold on, let me pull up the lyrics to Understanding in a Car Crash, because they're like, hold on, I gotta find them.
He's writing this song. He said, give me Understanding in a Car Crash, but different.
Because, like, okay, so, like, Understanding in a Car Crash, I mean, he describes every part of the car crash. But the one that I'm thinking of is where he's, like, push the seats back a little further. I see the headlights coming. They paint the world in red and broken glass. It's different Understanding in a Car Crash.
Yeah.
It's good, though. Like, not a criticism.
Yeah, no, shit's good.
Shit's
good.
Into it. I feel like if this song was a music video, first of all, the song could easily be a music video.
Oh, yeah.
And if it was, it would be about a couple where either one or both of them gets in a car crash. And the car crash is in slow-mo. And, like, the whole video is the length of the car crash. And it's, like, cut with flashbacks to their relationship.
Oh, okay.
That's my vision.
Yes. Give me that video pitch.
That's my director's
Draw
vision.
me up a storyboard.
That's the treatment for the video.
Yes.
Some biz lingo.
Some biz lingo. Yes. So I really wish we had a vocals only version for this. I want to hear the oohs in the background.
The oohs are very good.
They are so good. And they're not like that doo-wop 60s vibe that we had in the last one. They're just more like, they're more subtle. They're more, I don't know, they're just like calming.
Can we also talk about, like, not to fucking be a fanboy, but like, like, I mean, lots of bands do backing vocals. Like, that's not, it's not unique that they do backing vocals. Like, and Panic, you know, obviously does the most with vocals because Brendan Urie does the most. But
always does the fucking most. I
feel like Gerard is so bold about doing backing vocals like these. Like, perhaps more so than other comparable bands. Like, he just is like, you know what I want? I want to do this. And it's very sort of theatrical.
Yes.
And he just fucking goes for it.
Yeah, that I think is a really notable thing about Gerard as a vocalist is he's not always worried about sounding pretty. He just does, he makes the sound that he wants to hear, whether or not that's pretty, like the fucking demonic voice in Mama. Nobody wants to hear that, but it adds something to the song that you like if that sound weren't in the song, you would feel like something's missing.
Yeah, and it feels like very signature. Like, he still does it in his solo music. He still does very similar things with background vocals, and it feels like his thing.
Yeah.
Just need to say that. Just need to put that out there.
Yeah.
While this podcast is coming to a close, I need
Say
to
your
get
piece.
all my thoughts out.
Get that shit out there. Okay. The instrumental. So there's a guitar part that sounds like Safe and Sound. And I need you to put this clip in. It's right at the chorus.
Okay.
That part is at the very end of Safe and Sound when they're like, Gerard is looking miserable in the rain and he's like scrunching his eyes and he's looking up. That guitar part is playing.
But that guitar part for sure is very similar.
Yes, it is. And that would make sense because they were written around the same time, I guess. So that tracks. I heard it when I was listening to it and I was like, what the fuck? I know that. Why do I know that? The bridge, instrumentally, might as well just be a bass and vocals duet.
Yes.
Everything else can fuck off in the bridge. The bass and the vocals are working so well together. Oh my god. It's magical. It's so good.
They're brothers.
They're brothers. Oh no. I'm emotional. Okay. I had a lot of screaming in my notes about this part. The sudden openness in the guitars. Do you know the part I'm talking about?
I have to look.
It's like,
again, it's like I've never heard the song in my life.
I know.
Like,
It's towards the end, after the bridge. Oh my god. That part fucking blows my mind. I can't articulate my feelings on it. It evokes an emotion with a capital E.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but I just see it in front of my eyeballs, and I need to mention it.
Yes.
I Googled Surrender the Night and clicked on like the Google thing that gives you all the lyrics. And at the very bottom of it, it says songwriters Michael Way, Gerard Way, Raymond Toro, Frank Iero, Robert Breyer.
Robert.
It's killing me.
God, that's crazy. His full name is Robert.
Oh my god, that is so funny anyway.
Wow. Robert is a cursed name for Gerard. He needs to stay away from Roberts. Yeah. Okay. That part, the guitar part, it reminds me of Christmas. It reminds me of everything happy in the world.
Wow.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Seal.
Oh my god.
It reminds me of Kissed by a Rose.
Oh my god.
Don't ask me why. It just has the same emotion. When I hear that part, I just am thrown back to childhood watching Batman and Seal comes on. And I unironically, as you know, go hard for that song. And it just makes me so happy.
Wow.
I love this guitar part.
That is unique.
Tell me that shit ain't good. You listen to it and tell me that's not the best shit you've ever fucking heard.
Do you mean that guitar part or do you mean Kiss by the Rose?
Both.
Overall, I think this song is kind of a middling song for this album. Like, it's good. I enjoy listening to it. I forget it immediately after I listen to it. The lyrics are interesting, but not necessarily... not necessarily in like the same category of other My Chem lyrics we've talked about.
Right, yeah. No, I'm not going to say that this is like the best song on Conventional Weapons or whatever, but I do really like this song, and obviously there are some parts that I go real hard for.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I like it. I will give it 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 what?
Points? I don't know.
This is the part where you have to come up with like a cool grading scale.
Oh, man.
We'll give it 7 out of 10 conventional weapons.
Okay. We should have come up with the grading system way earlier in the podcast.
We really fucked up. We should, it could have been a running theme. It could have been our thing.
Yeah.
Could have been the thing that catapulted us to success.
That would have done it.
Like, 8 out of 10 cemeteries. 12 out of 10 vampire steaks. I don't know. Damn it. We missed an opportunity.
Oh, well. It's too late now.
Burn bright?
Yes.
So give me all you got, I can take it. We've walked alone in your city life. you make it? We lit the fire and it's burning bright.
Okay, get ready. It's a song about being in the band.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love those songs. Let's talk about Gerard's tweet about it.
Yes.
He's two. The first one, Burn Bright. First played this for the Morrisons visiting from Scotland. Song about the band. First of all,
imagine Gerard sitting down with his idol.
Oh my god.
His crush, Grant Morrison, and playing a song for him. Gerard is thriving.
You know what I should have fucking done? Fuck me for not doing this. But Gerard has talked about a lot of talks he had with Grant Morrison around this time about like being in the band and his complicated feelings about it and wanting to do other things. Like, what if this was one of those times where like they had a deep talk about the band and fame and success and art, and then the next time they visit, Gerard plays in this song. Damn, fuck this guy for being able to be friends with Grant Morrison.
Yeah,
his idol.
Yeah, his literal idol.
Oh my god!
Imagine just casually being friends with your idol.
I'm sick. I'm
Could
sickened.
never be me. I'm physically nauseous. I can't even handle the visual. Do you remember the interview that Gerard and Grant did, and he was just like blushing the whole time?
Yes,
that was the best fucking
You
thing.
know who I hate? Gerard Way.
I fucking hate Gerard Way.
So that's his first tweet. The second tweet is just, this song is intense.
Yeah, no fucking kidding, Gerard. This is your fault.
It is his fault. There's so much to unpack here. Just the most.
Yeah.
I feel like this song is just a page out of Gerard's diary. And he just put music to it. Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. So first of all, Give Me All You Got, Pinkish.
Oh, yeah.
Give me all you got, give me all you got. Wow.
just like that, yes.
It's exactly like that. City Lights, Kiss All the Boys.
I like the way that you're going about this.
Did you take it? Did you Did you make it? Can you fake it?
Stop.
I think this is a song where he's talking to his past self.
I think this song has a lot of things going on here. But this part in particular, about kissing all the boys and leaving the stars in your city lights and losing his way in your city lights.
Yep.
I think it's sort of like a reference to, obviously, the stage antics. And just sort of like generally like the defiance of gender roles, like where Gerard was like, I want to make the straight boys want me.
Yeah, right.
But generally speaking, like defiance of gender roles. And then also like the fame is too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
He lost his way. He left all the stars.
Yeah. I took the pills for these empty nights.
Ah.
Oh boy.
Ah.
Oh wow. I mean, we obviously, like, we know that he did, but, like, when he talks about it, he's like, yeah, that's something that happened to me. It's like, no, don't talk about it. Don't.
Well, no. Here's the whole lyric. Not ashamed of what I am.
Yeah.
I took the pills for these empty nights because
Yes.
it makes me who I am. Like, he's owning it. He's so powerful.
Yeah, he's owning those fuck-ups and the hard times and, you know, times that he was not at his best, and he's like, yep, shit happened.
Yes.
And you move on and grow.
Wait, hold on. Okay. I think we skipped a step. We just sort of like jumped into the lyrics without talking about what the lyrics were.
They know what listen, well, if you're going into this and you haven't listened to the songs, then that's your own fault. So if you're lost...
I'm just saying, maybe to contextualize.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is a song about, like, the end of the band.
Yes.
Know? About, like, Gerard being at a point where he doesn't know what the future looks like. and he's opining to Grant Morrison about his struggles with the band.
Yeah.
And the band struggles, and then about how he feels about it, like what they've done, like looking back on what they've done and being proud of that, and then also being like, I'm kind of wish it was over. I'm kind of cool if it was over.
Yeah.
Which is intense.
Oh, that's really intense. Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, it's, I think, probably not a coincidence that these two songs were the last to come out.
Right. Isn't that a fucking killer? Like, imagine if this was a real album.
Yeah.
That, like, instead of Danger Days, we got Conventional Weapons, and then this was the last song on the record.
Yeah, because anybody that looks into the lyrics at all is going to be a little nervous.
Yes.
Looking into this one.
Yes, this is like a goodbye letter. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is a breakup.
This is like, yeah, you know, I'd be fine if this was over. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sad about it.
Like, holy shit. And they'd have to, like, tour on this record. Imagine.
God. Imagine him performing this song, like, at all, first of all, but, like, 80 times.
Cannot.
Wow. Yeah, so a lot of this, that's why I think a lot of this is him talking to his past self is, or like, you know, at least referring a lot to his past self, and kind of owning how he used to be and how he used to think and act and being like, yep, I'm an adult now and I'm moving on. And I think this was him also realizing like, yeah, I'm ready to move on from the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never get to heaven with a life like yours. Or they said, you'll never get to heaven with a life like yours. That's sad, first of all. You know, like, I'm assuming that someone probably said this to him at some point. Probably not those exact words, but like, you know, if you keep living the way you're living, then blah, 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 or like you're going to hell or you're going to end up dead or something.
I don't know, but I really enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my favorite parts of the song.
Mm-hmm.
He just delivers it so well.
And he also has other lyrics. Right now, it's escaping me what song. It might even be in Hesitant Alien. Like, they thought we wouldn't make it past 25.
That's a Hesitant Alien song, and I cannot think of what it is right now.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
I think it's the one what's about kind of about Lindsay too. I can't remember at this moment, but it's a Hesitant Alien song.
Yeah.
Hesitant Alien song.
So he has other lyrics about, you know, not making it past a certain age, or if you continue with this lifestyle, you're gonna die, or whatever. So obviously, like, whoever said this, or the multiple people that were saying this, it really impacted him. I mean, you know, obviously, how could it not? someone coming up to you and saying, like, you're gonna fucking die. That's intense. So.
You know what I mishear this lyric as sometimes? I hear it as, they said you'll never get to heaven with a mouth like yours. That's what I hear a lot.
Well, we don't have official lyrics.
We don't. And
so there's no way to know.
Yeah, and there's some, like, small things in these lyrics where I'm like, I think that's different. Like,
yeah, like the next line.
Yeah.
So the internet says that this line is, if you're lost, little boy, the cameras pull you right back down.
Yeah, I don't hear that.
I don't hear that either.
I don't know what I hear, though, exactly, but I don't think I hear that.
So, you know, if it were the cameras pull you right back down, that would be really sad. But that's debatable that he says that. I hear something like, oh, well, they give us both a ride back down, yeah.
Ride back down, I can get on board with, yeah.
Yeah, they give us both a ride back down is what I hear.
Or like right back down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it could be, you know, this, we don't know. At Gerard, we need to know the official lyrics because one interpretation of it is a lot and the other is kind of like, I don't know what that means. So some clarification would be great if you could get back to me as soon as possible. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Send it to his fan mail address.
Yeah, please. Remit all responses to mychemicalfancast@gmail.com. Thanks.
The other lyric where I feel like I hear something different than genius.com is, and though I missed, and Genius says, and though I missed the chance for this, and I think I hear, and though I missed the taste for this, and the whole line is, and though I missed the taste for this, I confess that I can't wait until it's gone, though I mean this every single day. Don't go if you've got more to say, because the world don't need another helpless cause. Holy shit. It's like the thesis of the song.
Yes.
Like, he's enjoyed it, had a great time, had some laughs, shed some tears, but also he can't wait to peace out.
Yeah.
He's looking forward to the end.
Yeah. This is another yelling part that I had,
Yes.
because the lyrics are too much. Him saying, I confess I can't wait till it's gone,
I know!
is so fucking sad.
First of all, that's a very well written line.
Yeah.
Because, like, it hurts in every single
It's
way that it could hurt.
So impactful. Don't go if you've
Can't
got
wait
more to
till it's
say.
gone.
This is literally directly about the band and their message and maybe like lack thereof in the future.
Well, okay, so lack thereof, he also says, though I mean this every single day. Like, I think he's saying, like, I've had a good time, really can't wait for it to be done, like, so looking forward to the time where I don't have to fucking do this anymore. But until that time, I'm not phoning it in. We're still here,
Yeah.
because we gotta finish the fucking job.
Yep, you made me who I am, be afraid of what I am. This can be taken one of two ways, I think. It can be taken in a powerful kind of way, like, yeah, bitch. Be afraid. Or it can be, obviously kind of like a self-destructive, like, who I am is harmful, so you should be afraid or something. I think in the context of this song, it should be like kind of an empowering thing.
Yes, I take it in the powerful way.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is a self-made man. He is powerful. He is confident. He is fabulous. He can do, especially because of the Grant Morrison element, can do whatever the fuck he wants. Because he specifically had discussions with Grant Morrison about not knowing if he could do more than music. And Grant's like, obviously you can write comics. And then he went and wrote a comic. And I think he just felt so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
So he's like, get out of my way. I'm the literal ruler of the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can just choose to wield this power whichever way I want.
And I think another thing to support that it's an empowering thing is that the guitars underneath it sound like hopeful and excited sounding. Like they don't sound like they're trying to drag you down.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
The music is telling a story.
It is. And the next, oh my gosh, I burned it all and I'm doing fine.
Yes!
Yes, you are. You are doing fine.
Wait, okay, so like that line and then also one of the first lines, we lit the fire and it's burning bright. Like, that just takes me back to those revenge interviews where they talked about wanting to burn down every city they toured in. The power.
Yeah. At this point, though, what is he burning? Because his empire is still standing, I'm pretty sure. Like, maybe it's crumbling a little bit, but it's still solid.
Well, he never wanted to build an empire. He just wanted to burn down the world. And then he talked to Grant Morrison, and Grant Morrison was like, great, now you can make your own new world. And he was like, fantastic, I'm going to have a Netflix hit in a few years.
Yes. He said right then, he put that out into the universe.
I will have the greatest show on Netflix, literally the #1 show.
He did that.
He's so powerful.
Wow.
What a badass.
Yeah.
Also, okay, can we talk about the fucking It's a Chemical Burn?
Jeez. Fucking dumbass self-referential motherfuckers.
Like, I don't know if they've ever done a reference like that before, but I love it.
I was thinking about it too. I don't think that they've ever used the word chemical in one of their songs.
I don't think
ever.
they have. They've used like the names of chemicals,
right?
But they haven't used the word chemical.
No, they haven't used chemical,
and it's great. It's so funny. Also, okay, They're the lines, so give me all you got, I can take it, because it makes me who I am. Which makes you think of, like, his martyrdom thing again.
Yeah, for sure.
Needing to suffer so he can handle it. But you know what else it makes me think of? It makes me think of part 2 of Unholy Verse, where Frank, like, the top of the story, where they're in that house, and then Frank decides that he needs to be the conduit for the spirit.
Cat!
because, like, he's like, everyone has a special skill, and all I'm good at is, like, being in pain. You know? Like, he needs to take one for the team all the time.
Yeah.
That's what it makes me think of.
Oh my god. I need to read Unholy Verse again.
It's the right season, my dude. Fall is the season.
I've read it
fix.
4 times this year already.
Here's the problem with reading Unholy Verse, is that you can't read it like a book.
No,
you have to read it in
one
like
sitting.
One solid sitting. Which is so many hours.
It's so many.
And it's like your whole weekend.
Yeah. No, it's a commitment.
Except you never start it on a weekend.
It's not casual.
You always start it at 10:30 on a Wednesday night. Always.
Yep.
Do we have more to talk about with the lyrics?
With the lyrics? No.
Let's talk about the instrumental. Again, it has the vibe of, like, this could be interspersed with some other songs on the record, and you might not be able to tell that much. But I dig this song a lot, and, you know, it's not a surprise to anyone that I fucking love this bridge. I love it.
Okay. I've already articulated some feelings on this bridge. Not as emphatically as I have in my notes, because it's literally all yelling. But I can't even touch the bridge's instrumental. It is maybe one of their best bridges ever.
Whoa.
I'm just gonna fucking say it. It's probably one of their best bridges ever.
You know that TLC special of the woman who was in love with a bridge and, like, married a bridge? There's a woman out there in the world who has love affairs with, honestly, several bridges.
What a slut.
She's very intimate with the bridges, and
what does she do?
You have to watch it.
Oh no.
You have to observe for yourself.
Does she fuck the bridge?
In her own way. But she's very intimate with bridges, and that's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm... Because she has, like, a polyamorous relationship with a lot of bridges, and that's me. But you're, like, the monogamous, like, one bridge bitch. And this is your bridge.
Well, I wouldn't say that, though, because This Is How I Disappear exists.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, I'm just a whore for bridges.
I can be in, like, a love triangle.
Yes, you're in a love triangle. You're in a thruple.
I can do that.
With 2 bridges.
Yeah.
A bridge thruple.
A bridge thruple. I can do that. I love this fucking bridge. It's so good.
It's so good. Like, the lyrics are good. The guitars are good.
Everything is perfect. Everything.
It's perfect.
And the build after the bridge. We love a build.
Yes.
We love a build.
'Cause it makes me who I am. And you made me who I am. And you made me who I am. Be afraid of what I am. I can take it.
Wow, you know what's happening right now is I'm trying to imagine this bridge in my head. And I'm just imagining Surrender the Night. Like, this this fucking record is so hard to conceive of in your mind for some reason.
Yeah, it's like the silence. It's like you're looking at it and you're like, oh shit, yeah. And then you look away, you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh my god.
You're talking about what song? I don't know of any such song. They've created a cryptid with these records, or like this whole album.
Yes, this album is a cryptid.
It's a cryptid. Wow. There's in the beginning, it kind of goes on throughout most of the song, honestly. It sounds like they have some like wind instruments in the beginning. It's probably not wind instruments, it's probably synth or something. But there's like an ethereal whistling kind of thing going on.
Did you make it? Left all the stars in your...
And like it might not be really obvious to everyone unless you're really like critically listening. But yeah, I can definitely hear like an ethereal whistling kind of thing going on in the beginning especially, but it's still going on when the guitars come chugging in, and his background vocals mimic that kind of ethereal sound later on in like I think it's chorus 2 or 3.
I could take it. We walked around in your city lights, 'cause it makes me who I am.
They're kind of mimicking that kind of ethereal sound.
This fucking guy. You know what I noticed in the song, which I didn't write down because I thought maybe I was going crazy? But like in some of the verses, when he begins the verse, there's this like very deep, bassy sound that kind of sounds like low speech. And it's like you can't make out words or anything, but you just like feel, I don't know, you feel like the cadence of speech, but in a tone that's like too low to pick up. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt that, and I didn't write it down because I was like, I don't know if this is just me because I can't really pick it out that well.
Yeah,
but that's something I feel in here, and maybe it's me, or maybe it's a ghost, or maybe it's real. You know,
I don't know. It's not something that I noticed. But I would probably like if I listened back to it and I were listening for it, then I might hear it.
It's kind of something that puts me off kilter. Like I listen to it and then it's like walking down a street and then tripping over your air turbulence or something, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And then it goes away. That's how I feel about it.
Wow.
What a fucking Dear John letter to us.
A Dear John letter.
We've had a great time. It's not you, it's me. I need to move on. We've grown apart. I'm a different person.
You're a different person. I've grown. You've grown.
It might be time to call it quits. Like, let's be friends, but it might be time for this to be over.
Wow. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't remember when these two songs came out, I don't remember anyone freaking out over this song. I mean, obviously excited that it was released and excited that we had new music, but nobody that I saw was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and maybe I should have. But
definitely.
I mean, but also, like, it was, you know, they were recorded before Danger Days, so, like, I could see people being like, you know, it's not, even though it sounds like the end.
Yeah.
It was written before, so it's not the end.
Gerard writes a lot of dramatic stuff.
Yeah, Gerard's a little dramatic.
It's just Gerard being old Gerard. It's, you know, this guy.
And little did they know.
Oh, boy.
Because this was, like, as much as we talked about, like, what if this was, instead of Danger Days, like, the album we got and this was the last song? Mm-hmm. This was the last song. Like, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was the last song that we heard at that time.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Oh, boy.
Well, this is a hell of a song to end on.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a bummer, but, like, only a little because it slaps so hard, and the bridge honestly makes up for everything.
Yeah, that was Gerard's gift to us. And his heartbreak.
Yep.
Honestly, though, like, I just love picturing him playing this to Grant Morrison. Because it does sound like a conversation he would have with Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to know what Grant said to him after he heard this song.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I pulled out that whatever interview Gerard did where he talked about, like, what he spoke about with Grant, because he did do an interview where he talked about, like, what he and Grant talked about.
Yeah, and there's some of that in Not the Life It Seems, where Grant is talking about, like, you know, don't be afraid to be a rock star, and you know, like, you're an artist, and you're, you know, own this shit, own your shit. So I don't know if it goes into. Let me look real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, well, the part that you mentioned, like, that's significant, I think.
Yeah. And it's also something, Don't Be Afraid to Be a Rock Star is also something that Billy Joe Armstrong told him in the very beginning.
That's right. That's right.
So,
and there's a grenade on this release. Is it a coincidence? I think not.
I want to hear it in Grant's accent.
Oh my god. His accent is
so thick.
You kind of like, I feel like I don't expect it when I look at him. And then it comes out of his mouth. And then
Don't
you're
be
like,
afraid.
whoa. I don't know what I expect though. I just
Gerard Way is a wanker.
It's so funny. Oh man, okay.
He's great.
Well, this is it, man. Do we have any parting thoughts on conventional weapons?
Oh boy. It's been a ride. It's been kind of confusing. It's been emotional. Very emotional. It's been cathartic and sometimes a little rage inducing. And you know, that's what this album is a lot of emotions.
Yeah, there are a lot of like straightforward emotions in conventional weapons.
Yeah, it's not hiding behind anything.
Yeah, there's no concept.
Absolutely no concept. This is
no concept.
Like one of the only ones where they have nothing. Like
nothing.
No story, no common thread of characters or anything really tying the songs together. And I think that's part of why they didn't like it. But I
agree.
Yeah, and I get that, and I think that's also part of what makes these collection of songs stand out so much is that they're so different than anything they've done before, and they're so straightforward.
Yeah, very straightforward. Like this is, if you want to explore the psyche of late era MCR, here you go. Like this is the one to do it on. You don't have to like peel back any layers. Like it's right here.
It's all out there for you.
I think, I'm not sure if we mentioned this earlier, but Frank prefers this album to Danger Days. I think mostly musically. And maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like I can hear a lot of Frank's influence on this album. I feel like when I listen to Frank's music that he makes now, I feel like I see a lot of common threads.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of interesting to me. Like maybe he prefers this album because maybe he had more to do with it. And a lot of fans also prefer this album.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe like that tide is turning now, but definitely a few years ago when animosity for Danger Days was still very high, I think a lot of people heard conventional weapons and they were like, wait, this is awesome. Why did we get Danger Days?
Mm-hmm.
And there are definitely a lot of parts of conventional weapons that are awesome. A lot of the faster, more upbeat, aggro punk songs are fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Stooges moments are fucking awesome. But I think going back through Danger Days, like, there's a lot of value to that. And I think it was way ahead of its time in that in the year 2019, ironically, we've come to a time where Danger Days makes more sense. And so I don't know if those same feelings of fuck Danger Days, we should have gotten conventional weapons still exists as much. But it's out there, I'm sure, for some people.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel pretty satisfied with the way things went down with this release.
And you know what's great is that we got both.
Yes, we did. We could have never gotten this.
Yeah, we don't have to choose between one and the other. ¿Por qué no las dos?
As Cardi B says, I don't gotta choose.
Gotta choose.
But this has been a fun ride.
Yeah.
People keep yelling at me for bringing up the fact that this podcast is ending. I'm just trying to give you advanced warning, okay?
Uh-huh.
It really feels like the podcast is like this episode especially, you're like, it feels very done.
Yeah.
But we do have a few loose ends to tie up, and we are going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, should we read a fanecdote?
Yeah.
We're going to move into a fanecdote. This one is from Magdalena Bordali. And she says, "Hello, my name is Magdalena. I am 24 years old and I am from Chile. First, I want to tell you that I love the podcast. It's the first time I've heard other people talking about My Chemical Romance because even though being a fan gave me a lot of good things, I never had friends who shared my love for them. Therefore, listening to you talk about things that I'd only thought in my head is a wonderful feeling. In short, more than a story, I want to share a reflection. My trip with My Chemical Romance started one day in February 2005. I was 11 years old. I turned on the television and there was Gerard. I fell in love immediately with him, with the song, with everything, and I fell into an endless spiral. My Chemical Romance came into my life at a time when I had no purpose to live, and I had such a hard time every day at school that every moment was a torture except when I came to my house to listen to 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge on loop, and that deeply marked my identity and my entire life. What I want to say with all this is that it is very inexplicable how fate works, or whatever you want to call it. But now, at 24, I have been more aware than ever of how My Chemical Romance shaped my identity, my character, the relationships I had, my interests, the university career that I chose, I'm a music journalist, and how I see life to this day. Same girl. All these things happened and had a cost for me as well as for them. For example, My Chemical Romance came to Chile on February 24, 2008, and as you will understand, for us, a country at the end of the world in South America, it was something we could not believe even after it happened. Listening to your podcast, I remember the immense sacrifice that it was for them to continue doing that tour at that point. And as maybe that contributed in the beginning to the end of My Chemical Romance, but it was also the best day of my life, and I do not know if I could have fulfilled that dream without their sacrifice. And maybe today, I would not be myself. Gosh, they even played Desert Song. It was like a blessing. I don't remember much because I was in complete shock, but I found this video when I screamed, "Desert Song!" And it's really funny.
Wow.
And now Haley will take the second half.
In 2008, I was still a girl, and there were many things I did not understand. Like the fact that Frank didn't come, and I was so angry that I even lost my sleep for months. But again, fate, the way in which things ended, in which they developed over time, made it possible for each one of the members of MCR to follow their own personal paths and dreams. And although every day I'm going to grieve that they separated, my happiness for their happiness is sincere. That's how finally, after 14 years, Frank decided to come to Latin America for the first time with the Future Violence. And I could see him as I never thought I would see him, in the first row of a small bar in the center of the city. I cried so much that I had a semi-asthma attack. My Chemical Romance comes back to me in the most unexpected ways, but that confirms again and again that this beautiful relationship I had with them and their music was something that had to happen. Maybe it was written, and I'm sure your history with them too. Thank you very much for reading, and sorry for my broken English. Your podcast is the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was so dramatic. This was a journey.
This was really... It had everything. It had the build, it had the climax, it had like the soft ending that you could like calm down with. It had the drama.
Wait. We missed the most important part. That Magdalena has a kick-ass tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Her tattoo is like a line drawing of the cover for Revenge. Like a line drawing of the lovers. And it looks fantastic. It's like one of my favorite MCR tattoos I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
I love it. Props to you, Magdalena.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that anecdote.
Mm-hmm.
We loved it. Okay, and since we're coming to the end of this podcast, we will do another anecdote because we need to knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
We are running out of time. This one is from Liz Roswell, who I believe is her patron.
Yeah,
right?
I remember. I recognize that name. Liz Roswell, Jenna Dove. Villa.
Jen Schillingberg.
Jen Schillingberg.
All right, anyway, Liz Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
Liz says, "Hi, Haley and Kat. Love, love, love your podcast. Here's my story with My Chemical Romance thus far. I was in middle school during the early 2000s. Weren't we all? So needless to say, I was pretty into My Chemical Romance along with other popular emo bands. However, my dedication and understanding of music was pretty surface level at the time. I loved 3 Cheers and Black Parade, but never went back to listen to Bullets, which is now my favorite MCR album. I too am a Bullets bitch. After middle school, I had stopped paying attention to bands like MCR altogether. By the time I had started college, I would regularly dive back into my nostalgic middle school bands when I was really stressed. It was almost like a comfort blanket and reminded me of a time with much less pressure and responsibilities. Around this time, I was also getting really into punk/alternative music in my local DIY punk scene. I became obsessed with bands like Jawbreaker, The Misfits, The Smiths, and The Cure. So when I went to revisit emo bands during a time of stress, one band stood out, My Chemical Romance. It all clicked for me. I heard all the influences from the punk bands I loved, and I realized that they were not just a nostalgic, guilty pleasure band, they were truly an amazing band overall. And now I'm 25 years old and still very obsessed with My Chemical Romance. Come to Los Angeles sometime. Thanks, Liz Roswell.
Girl, I would love to come to Los Angeles. You give me a place to stay, and I will come to Los Angeles.
Liz Roswell is a woman of taste.
Yeah.
Can we just admire?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
Thank you, Liz, for that anecdote. And Liz is also a patron, which segues me into thanking our patrons. We have a Patreon. You can find it at patreon.com/mychemicalfancast. And if you pledge $2 more a month, you can get your name on this really cool list that I've almost memorized, but not quite. And I will say thank you to you every episode. So, this is a big thank you to Tim Malpass, Vienna Langton, Gabby Dauber, The Boy Phantom, my mom, Tara Lamantia, Cherith McGregor, Katie Kelly, Melissa Contreras, Phil Grant, Amber Johnson, Caitlin Carnes, Anne Louise Mullen, Kayla Williams, Dominique Ray, Liz Roswell, Bertha Villa, Jen Schillingberg, Vanessa Zermeno, Brianna Tong, Alina Guer, Cassie Witt, Patricia Ignacio, Jenna Dove, Darcy Sheltman, Ella Bird, Jasmine Brett, Rianne DeGraff, and Casey Gerhart. Thank you guys so much for being our patrons and keeping this podcast afloat. And now is the fun part. Haley, what's your song of the week?
Oh, no!
No, we had gotten into such a good rhythm.
I know. I had remembered for so long.
Just like old times.
Shit. Hold, just give me a minute. Okay, I have it.
All right, Haley. What's your song of the week?
My song of the week. It is I've Decided to Marry You from A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
Mr. Navarro, forgive my intrusion. I needed to see you and see you today. Mr. Navarro, I have arrived at a stunning conclusion. And I feared I would lose my resolve if I didn't come here directly to see. I've decided to marry you.
It's a trio, and it's fun, and it's opera, and it's funny, and yep, that's that on that.
That's that on that.
Yeah.
My song of the week is Detroit by Starbenders. Because my friend is really into Starbenders, and I was also into Starbenders, but didn't know it at the time. I was like, I like a couple of these songs, and he's like, I saw the Starbenders. Have you listened to them? And I was like, I don't know. And then I looked them up, and I had. And they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the song. It's very good. I like it.
Cool.
And that's that on that.
That's that on that. In the meantime, follow us on the socials, Twitter and Instagram at Chemical Fancast, Facebook, My Chemical Fancast, and email us, not too many words and things, to mychemicalfancast@gmail.com.
If you want to email us words and things, like, really think about it. We
be
don't have
really,
much time left.
Be really selective.
Really selective. They gotta be, like, damn good.
I mean, like, if you want them to appear on the podcast anyway. Other things, sure, send it to us. We will talk. We'll respond.
Yes.
We'll chat. We'll have a good time. If you want it on the podcast, though, just
make it good.
Be wary.
All right. Is that all we've got?
That's it.
Cool. Our next episode will be, I believe, like a Stragglers episode of some of the extra songs that were on Living with Ghosts, and we might talk about that a little bit. And then our episode after that will probably be about
Dun dun dun.
it'll probably be about MCR5. Right?
Yeah.
And then
Uh-oh.
guys,
Everybody take a breath.
then it gets pretty hard.
It's gonna be all right.
We're gonna get through it.
Together.
Okay? We're gonna get through it. But it's gonna be difficult. Until then, I'm Kat.
I'm Haley.
And this is My Chemical Fancast. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.